Good morning, everyone. Jai Guru.
Good morning.
Nice to be here with all of you. And happy Mother's Day to all mothers out there. And blessed Divine Mother Day to all who manifest Divine Mother's qualities. And it's a wonderful day to celebrate whatever you do today with the Divine Mother. And that's a little bit the topic of this day, Satsang, yes. And we'll have more singing than usual. We thought we will do a few more chants, perhaps one song of Swamiji, and or verbal sharing, maybe a little less, more sharing with the heart song. Shall we get started?
Yes, so please sing with us. Let's invoke the presence of the Divine Mother in our hearts and hopefully bring that presence with us into the rest of the day.
So we'll start with a simple chant. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. So to get us all started nicely together with energy. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Mother, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy
Sitting up straight, feeling the presence of the Divine Mother in our hearts, masters. Let's offer a prayer offering all our devotion. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Friend Beloved God, Great Masters, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashay, Swami Shri Yukeshwar, Beloved Guru, Paramhansa Yogananda, Saints of all religions, we humbly bow before you all. Beloved Divine Mother, come to us today and always. Fill us with your presence. May we feel you beneath every enjoyment of this world. May we see you in every relationship. And may we enjoy your presence in our hearts and share you with all. Be with us now. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We'll do a few more chants to the Divine Mother. This one is one of Yoganandaji's Thousands of Suns.
Good after each chant to take a little moment to internalize it even further, to understand it with our mind and our hearts, and to keep calling in the silence for the Divine Mother, the divine vision, brighter than all the stars in the universe. Do one more chant to the Divine Mother. And this one, perhaps you will not know the words, but just go with the feeling of it. It's again a very kind of mystical, deep chant. Especially the lines, take the dust of each one's feet, serving Mother where she sleeps. When my dream is gone, she will lift me on her lap. Make sure you're sitting up straight. Taking in the mystical nature of this chant, the deepness of it, into yourself, into your spine. And repeat mentally, when my dream's dream is gone, she will lift me on her lap. When my dream's dream is gone, she will lift me on her lap. How much are we dreaming right now? So caught up in this dream. And finally finished dreaming, she will come. She will lift us up. I will listen to Swami Ananda reading one of the Whispers from Eternity. I will take that into around 7 minutes meditation or so.
A million salutations at thy petalled feet, O lotus of light. A million salutations at thy petalled feet, O lotus of light. I pour out my heart's love before thee. I pour out my whole being. I offer all the fragrant musk of my soul at thy feet of omnipresence. O precious, blessed one, pipe the song of thy bliss in the dark bower of my heart. I am thy very own, ever shall I be thy own. I will laugh at all dangers, for thy protecting love fills the golden chalice of my constant remembrance of thee. I cast every earthly passion and pleasure into thy sacrificial fire, as an oblation of my devotion to thee. In thy blessed light I will illuminate all shadows, and expose as illusory my imaginary fears. In thy radiant light I will remain awake forever, entranced by thy thrilling, omnipresent bliss smile through all eternity. May thy love shine forever on the sanctuary of my devotion, and may I be able to awaken thy love in all hearts. O make my soul thy temple, make my heart thine altar, and make my love thy home.
Meditate now. Well, good morning once again. I just shared for a little bit, and then we have more music, and Shamini also will share. But today, the subject is celebrating with Divine Mother, and that's something that Shamini and I really enjoy. That comes from Swamiji, at least as far as we know, it comes from Swamiji. That every time he would finish a project, or every time he will do something that requires celebration, so to say, he will say, I'm gonna go celebrate with Divine Mother. And there's some really wonderful stories of him doing this, and how, because he went with Divine Mother and celebrated with Divine Mother, she really took care of him. And I think most of us know those stories of when his meal got paid for, and his stay, and all those things, whenever he said he was gonna go celebrate with Divine Mother. And that's something that is a beautiful thing for all of us to do. And I think perhaps Shamini will speak more about that. But I wanted also to mention a little bit the celebrating with Divine Mother, but celebrating also Divine Mother's qualities in this world. Now, it's very interesting, because we know that Master, he always will pray to Divine Mother. He would always talk about Divine Mother. He would always commune with Divine Mother. You know that Swamiji also, he would always pray to the Divine Mother. And we see that those saints, or those people who tend to commune more strongly with the Divine Mother, even in Ananda, you see, there's a certain sweetness, a certain certain shine in their eyes, you could say, that has more compassion, more love flowing through them. We hear, for example, in the autobiography of Master Mahashaya, who Master loved so much that he will roll on the ground, wherever he will walk, he will roll on the ground because he felt it was sanctified ground, sanctified soil, that he also communed with the Divine Mother all the time. And I think the chapter starts, by a little phrase, say, I'm communing with my Divine Mother, something, something. He was a disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. And again, the sweetness of that particular devotee, it was so palpable, but that when you read that chapter, the blissful devotee and the Divine Mother or something, and I can't remember exactly the name, it's just your heart fills with so much love, just because he was able to express that love. But at least when I think of the saints before all of that when we think of the Bhagavad Gita, when we think of Lord Buddha, or we think of Jesus Christ, they didn't talk about the mother so much. They didn't perhaps emphasize that aspect so much, and probably it wasn't the time to emphasize that aspect. But Swamiji very clearly said that it is important to bring, to have this quality of Divine Mother come into this world right now, because there is too much masculine energy out there. And I think that masculine energy is more predominant during Kali Yuga, which is all more about willpower, exerting your will on other people, start to use the brain much more, and try to find everything a logical conclusion, a logical way of doing things, find reasons for this, for that. And I think that we see the world is much more going that way, and has gone that way. And it's a natural thing when coming out of Kali Yuga. And it's a good thing, because, again, we go out of belief into something a little more real. But as it tends to happen with humanity, we go too much one direction, and then we need to balance, and probably we'll go a little bit too much in the other direction until we find that perfect center. And that's something very common, that within us it happens with the whole world. And that's why this energy of Divine Mother is so important. The energy that comes while attuning ourselves to Divine Mother to balance the world's energy. What are these energies? The energy of love, of compassion, of kindness, of understanding, of openness, of just being a little bit of a child as well, of always wanting to be with the Divine Mother. But if you hear me saying all these things, love, compassion, openness, you will realize that if you are out in the world, if you are having a corporate job, let's say, those are the qualities that almost no one will exert, because they will think it's a sign of weakness. They will think like, if you are like that, people will walk all over you. And to some degree, it may be true if you don't do them in the right way. I am not part of the corporate world, so I cannot give you first-hand experience necessarily, but I have seen that whenever you are able to express kindness or compassion to anyone, they respond in a different way. They respond in a way that perhaps you will be surprised of how this particular person can be so sweet, or how this particular person can smile so much. Meaning, when you express that, you will see that others will react in that way towards you. Obviously, this energy doesn't need to express itself outwardly with words, with hugs, with this, with that, with just giving money to people randomly or things like that. No, it has to be, above all, from our hearts. Our hearts feel open, our hearts feel kindness, our hearts feel compassion, and yes, it will express itself through our smile, through our eyes, through our very words. It will express itself. That you should be able to just speak with so much sweetness that it will melt other people's hearts. And those are the qualities of Divine Mother that we really want to imbue within ourselves. And you will see that you can even change your workplace with that, because people do respond to love, even though they may not admit it. They do. Now, there is a few stories of Yogananda, Master, that if you have read, many at least 3-4 times that we know of, people in the US pull a gun on him, a gun to, in front of him, and would try to rob him or try to kill him because he was openly talking about some people that they didn't like that. But the interesting thing about these stories is, at least many of them, is that, somebody's pulling a gun on Yogananda, and he will say that he will look after the interaction. He will say he will look at the person, into the person's eye with so much love that will start shaking and be transformed instantly. Okay, one time I remember he also shouted at a guy, "Get out!" But more of the stories are that he will look with so much love that love would transform the criminal to a way that they could not do whatever they were doing anymore. They will change their life completely, and they will stop the life of crime. But I always find it very interesting that he will change them through love, through divine love. Even criminals, he will change through divine love more than just through mere power and disintegrating them in the spot or whatever it may be. And love has that power, and Divine Mother wants us to carry that power more and more into the world in whichever way we can, as appropriate as it is appropriate to the circumstance, of course, but not to be afraid to express it, to be open to it, and to commune with her more and more and more. In fact, those qualities, which are more feminine qualities of openness and all these things that I have mentioned, are in a way the prerequisite for us to be on the spiritual path. They are the things that we need the most, especially at the beginning of the spiritual path. And that's why often ladies can get into the path more than men, and why they perhaps advance spiritually quicker, at least certainly at the beginning, because they have already developed to some degree those qualities and they're not afraid of expressing them, whereas men tend to be more reserved and not wanting to express so much. So let us today, more than ever, commune with the Mother in whichever way, through this music that we've been doing, through the chants, but also through all our interactions of today and moving forward as much as we can to express them as well. So we will now do a little song, and Shami, would you like to introduce this song?
So this is one of Swamiji's songs. It's called Channels, and the chorus is very beautiful. It's, Mother, we thank you. Your joy shines in everything. Open these channels that the world once more may sing. So at least in that you could join us, and if you know the song, but we thought let's just sing it together for a moment, tune into Divine Mother and the aspect of nature, in her aspect of nature.
We'll share the words so you can follow along if you wish. And if you were in the choir practice yesterday, we actually also practiced this song a little bit. Sing of freedom as they soar lightly on the air, so may our hearts soar high above all curbs and cares. Mother, we thank you, your joy shines in everything. Open these channels that the world once more may sing. Trees standing firm, hold the secret of inner power. Give us when tested, strength to endure. Mother, we thank you, your joy shines in everything. Open these channels that the world once more may sing. Stars send a message of light through eternity. Lord, when in darkness your radiance we see. Mother, we thank you, your joy shines in everything. Open these channels that the world once more may sing. Flowers so soft and fragile, stay fragrant though pressed to the ground. May we thus learn forbearance, for in kindness love is found. Mother, we thank you, your joy shines in everything. Open these channels that the world once more may sing. Mountains remote and still hint at higher worlds unseen. So may our lives be soaring and serene. Mother, we thank you, your joy shines in everything. Open these channels that the world once more may sing. Rivers seek passage unhindered by rock or tree. So may our lives flow steadfast toward the sea. Mother, we thank you, your joy shines in everything. Open these channels that the world once more may sing. Mother, we thank you, your joy shines in everything. Open these channels that the world once more may sing. Mother, we thank you, your joy shines in everything. Open these channels that the world once more may sing. Mother, we thank you, your joy shines in everything. Open these channels that the world once more may sing. Well done, Shamini. And well done, everyone.
Well done. Thank you all for singing. Also nice to see you sing with us. Isn't that such a beautiful song? And just the chorus, Mother, we thank you, your joy shines in everything. And just to remember that, especially those words, I was thinking to just share a little bit on Divine Mother. And of course, today, as a celebration for Mother's Day, we know we've heard a few of the community members have plans today, and the kids are taking them out somewhere, and they have all planned a special day out. And that's all so much fun, also. And, just a wonderful way to kind of dedicate a day to the mother. And for us as devotees to bring this in, we thought, as just try to see, especially, I dedicate this day to the Divine Mother, and also, like Baraquiel was saying, all of us want to try as devotees, as we're going forward, we need to keep opening the heart. We know that we need to keep increasing our devotion. Open these channels, Mother, that your joy, that your love can flow, your kindness can flow. Now, that becomes a wonderful way to increase that expression of Divine Mother in this world as well, which is something, again, Swamiji emphasizes a lot, that quality, as Bara was saying again, of Divine Mother is so needed right now in the world. People need to feel this love, compassion. People want to feel included. They want to feel, just there's so much more isolation, and literally so in the last 2 years, where those channels need to start flowing again. And we just noticed that as ourselves and as devotees, just how can we open those channels? How can Divine Mother open those channels for us? Whether we are male or female, equally so. Many times on the path also, Swamiji would say, as sometimes a little bit of a joke, they would say in Ananda, that the males are developing much more the feminine aspect, and you see much more the sweetness in the long-term male devotees, and then the women start developing a little more strength and outward, kind of masculine energy, and that balance does come about. So whatever outwardly we are, inwardly we need to kind of let those expressions flow. And one way of doing this is really nature, and this song tells us 6 different ways to just see what nature kind of brings out, that aspect of Divine Mother that flows through. The flowers, so soft and fragile, but when crushed, give only sweetness, give a fragrance. And so may we also, when crushed in forbearance, let only kindness come out of us, Mother. Let me never become bitter. Let me never become closed. And that's such a beautiful thing to think about. No? And then there are 6 more in this song itself, But for each of us, let's say you just get a chance to go out for a walk or take a trip out into nature, or even just look out from your balcony. You know, we always have some access somewhere. From the morning, from dawn, with the first little cloud, let's say, or the first ray of light sun, just thinking of Divine Mother as that expression. Because everything outwardly that we see expressed in nature is the Divine Mother aspect of God that's expressed, that Om vibration that's manifested outwardly. And so, if that's what Master tells us, you know, for us to, we don't want to just know it, we want to try to feel that from the moment we wake up in the morning, to just let that first ray of sun touch the skin or come onto the balcony on your plants and just try to feel Divine Mother saying good morning and that warmth in your heart, you know. And then of course going into the day, going into aspects of nature, the sky, the beautiful river, perhaps, I don't know, whatever it is that we're able to experience, the trees standing firm. Sometimes you need to be stern, you need to be steadfast, you need to have that aspect of the Divine Mother also, not just only the sweetness and the love, but we need to be able to stand straight and strong in our principles. So whatever it is, just using those as reminders, you know. And you know, there's this very beautiful, I would encourage all of us, if we can, to tune into the sharing nature books that Bharat Cornell, Naya Swami Bharat, has given us, has really manifested Divine Mother through the sharing nature offerings that he's given. And recently we had a chance to do a little corporate offering of a few sharing nature activities. And it was wonderful. We did a few games, you know, it was just online, right, through the screen. So we did as much as we could, just sharing ideas, and then, you know, mostly giving ideas for people. Hopefully they would go later on if they're in a park or somewhere in nature and try them out. But it was so interesting. At the end, we tried one of his guided visualizations, you know, where he is basically become a tree. You know, you kind of go into the experience of a tree through the seasons, the 4 seasons of the year, and try to feel yourself, you know, firmly rooted through the roots going out into the soil, nice trunk, the branches reaching out, the leaves reaching out, and then you go through that experience. And everybody, it was amazing. Everybody just felt so uplifted. They kind of all just went into this very deep space, you know, and we all didn't know what had happened, except that we were just tuning into Bharat's guided visualization. And he captured the spirit of Divine Mother. And it's just, that gives a little doorway, you know, into one thing that Swamiji said when he was first new on the path. He would look at a beautiful, let's say, a leaf, and his thing was just, before, I think this was before he came to the path, his thing and that looking at it was, it's so beautiful, but I can't feel it. And that was his greatest, you know, let's say, his kind of pain. And also one of the aspects that brought him onto the path, he was very aware that there's something missing inside of me. And then the same Swamiji, towards the end of his life, there's this story of how he just looked out his window one time and he just happened to look at a tree, and all of a sudden he went into bliss, just thinking of the life force that's going through the trunk and out into the leaves, and how that same Divine Mother Spirit goes through the entire tree and fills her with her light, fills the tree with her light. And he went into bliss. And, you know, that's quite a contrast from, you know, for one person. But that's kind of a spectrum of our potential, the Divine Mother, you know, and to just, how can we bring her alive? Nature becomes one way, but also with people, you know, with the people in our lives and ourselves more than anyone else, trying to be that channel always for Divine Mother. Flow through me, teach me how to be an expression for your love in this world, how to be an expression for your light. And you know, we'll do one last song to end, but just to say also, like, you know, one of the things recently Pranaba was with us, and he was talking about, you know, because we were also saying, like, sometimes we are in situations, let's say at work or at home or with friends or wherever, where disagreements come or there's a difficult energy, and you need to deal with that also. We can't just be sitting there and saying, oh, I just want to be loved, because sometimes it doesn't work, you know, and we need to figure out. And Pranaba's thing to that was you need to change the energy, right? So sometimes something comes up, a disagreement between whatever or a difficult situation. What's our job as devotees? Change the energy, do something to shift it. And one of the ways, and again, it's very interesting to think, is Yogananda's healing prayers. No? And a very effective way to change the energy and send that light out towards a person, towards a situation. And what is Yogananda's healing prayer? Divine Mother, thou art omnipresent, thou art in this person, manifest yourself, and the energy changes. That's a very powerful way to change the energy. And we're calling on Divine Mother in her expression that can outwardly, and Yogananda ji says, she's closer than the Father. She's ready to come and help and to shift the energy where it's needed. And just very interesting for us to tune into how we can call upon this energy time and time again, perhaps today and also maybe this week, as much as we can remember as devotees. It just will really make our spiritual lives very rich. Thank you.
We'll do one more chant.
Yes.
Again, I may not know all the words of this chant, but we always like to say that when Master told Swamiji to develop devotion, he started chanting this particular song over and over for hours every day, both in Bengali and in English. We're only going to do it in English, but it's will that they come to me.
And let's just close our eyes if you can and just try to call to the Divine Mother from our hearts. Let's feel her presence with us, with each of us here right now.
Will that day come to me, Ma? Will that day come to me, Ma? When saying, Mother dear, my eyes will flow tears. When saying, Mother dear, my eyes will flow tears. Wisdom's lotus will blossom forth, darkness will steal away. Wisdom's lotus will blossom forth, darkness will steal away. Steal away, steal away, steal away, Ma, steal away. Steal away, steal away, steal away, Ma, steal away. 1,000 Vedas do declare Divine Mothers everywhere. 1,000 Vedas do declare Divine Mothers everywhere. Sri Ram Prasad said, my mother everywhere stays. Sri Ram Prasad said, Divine Mother everywhere stays. Blind eyes see them all, hiding everywhere. Blind eyes see them all, hiding everywhere. Will that day come to me, Ma? Will that day, oh come to me, Ma? When saying, Mother dear, my eyes will flow tears. When saying, Mother dear, my eyes will flow tears. Wisdom's lotus will blossom forth, darkness will steal away. Wisdom's lotus will blossom forth, darkness will steal away. Steal away, steal away, steal away, Ma, steal away. Steal away, steal away, steal away, Ma, steal away. 1,000 Vedas do declare Divine Mothers everywhere. 1,000 Vedas do declare Divine Mothers everywhere. Sri Ram Prasad said, Divine Mother everywhere stays. Sri Ram Prasad said, my mother everywhere stays. Blind eyes see them all, hiding within, everywhere. Will that day come to me, Ma? Will that day oh come to me, Ma? When saying, Mother dear, my eyes will flow tears. When saying, Mother dear, my eyes will flow tears. When saying, Mother dear, my eyes will flow tears. When saying, Mother, Mother, my eyes will flow tears. When saying, Mother, Mother, my eyes will flow tears. Will that day come to me, Ma? Will that day come to me, Ma? Will that day come to me, Ma? Will that day oh come to me, Ma?
And keeping our eyes closed, just for a moment, let's enjoy the presence of the Divine Mother, her light, her love. Offer a prayer of gratitude from our hearts. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for opening these channels within us. And please continue to do so. May we be channels for your light and love in this world. All hearts that need that love, need that joy. And bring to mind anyone you know in need of healing, in need of support, going through a particularly challenging phase. Visualize them in Divine Mother's light, on her lap. Divine Mother taking care of them, lifting them up out of whatever situation they find themselves, whatever challenge. And may they feel Divine Mother's presence in their hearts. And expand that light now to include all souls around this entire planet, enveloping our entire planet in that same light of Divine Mother. Let's pray. Divine Mother, Thou art omnipresent, Thou art in all these Thy children. Manifest Thy healing presence in all these bodies, minds, and souls. Tapping our palms together, magnetizing them. Now 3 Ohms. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you all.
Thank you for joining. Have a blessed day ahead.
Yes, and happy Divine Mother's Day to everyone.
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru.